Good morning, Your Excellency.
Good morning.
Pleasure to meet you. Thank
my
you so
pleasure.
much for your valuable time here today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
We'd like to seek your experience and wisdom on a few areas here today, particularly in our very challenging world here today. How do you see versatile leadership being relevant?
Well, when we talk about versatile leadership, the whole point is to accept that an individual, be it the person who is at the helm or anywhere down the organizational chart, does not know the entire knowledge that is around, that is in the universe.
Yes.
It's acceptance we have
It's so vast, yeah.
Yes, it is so vast. We have to accept that there is so much to learn, that there is so much to understand, and there is also so much that you can gain from listening and getting the point of view of the others. The whole point is adaptation. You have to continue to adapt, you have to continue to grow, you have to continue to be on the move. There is no fixed positions in leadership. It's a movement, it's a dynamic, moving, evolving process.
Wonderful. Thank you for your thoughts. So what do you see as being the biggest challenge leaders face to be able to have this kind of versatile mindset?
Well, I think it is the process whereby you reach leadership level. Once you reach leadership level, one tends to think that you have put so many years of experience behind you that you can continue to count on experience alone.
Yes.
What has been proven time and time again during the history of the world is that old solutions cannot be successful in new problems. Yes, to some extent, but we have to understand the new and evolving challenges that we are facing and try to come up with new solutions. And unless we can be, as I said earlier, creative and find new solutions, we may be in a worsened situation than where we started.
Wonderful. What role does humility come into the picture here in terms of versatile leadership?
Reaching down to anyone in the organization, accepting that yes, someone down in the organization could have a contribution that could actually resolve the issue at hand.
Yes.
Reach out, reach down to your peers, to your colleagues, and seek knowledge.
That's very interesting. What do you think the role of coaching and mentoring plays in leadership?
Again, I think the whole idea of reaching out and also partnering with your colleagues and the incoming youth, making the whole process a process of teamwork is what is required in a successful organization. And that is why the whole concept of mentoring comes in, coaching comes in. This is not a one-person organization. It's a teamwork. Unless this team succeeds, you will not succeed. One could be an outstanding leader, but the leader would be as strong as your team. And that is why it is so important.
Wonderful. So coaching and mentoring to foster effective teamwork. Your Excellency, what would be your advice in terms of how organizations could create a coaching and mentoring culture?
I think it is very important. And I think from the time new recruits come into the organization, there has to be a reach out process. There has to be a structure whereby you reach out to the incoming recruits and guide them through the processes. What is happening through that process is actually not only the incoming recruits are benefiting, but also everyone that reach out to them. Everyone involved in the whole process is benefiting from the process. And that is what dynamic leadership is about. That is what dynamic teamwork is about, and that is a dynamic organization.
Wonderful. So all the way from the beginning, from the starting point, it starts. And it involves other people who actually are involved in the coaching and mentoring are also learning in that process.
Very true.
That is just wonderful. So any final thoughts for us in terms of how organizations can ensure the health and well-being of its people?
Well, I've been thinking about the health and well-being of the staff, of the organization, of everyone that is in the team, and I think it is so important. You can keep on asking your staff, your teammates to contribute so much so that they completely burn out. The question at hand is that the best you can get out of your employees? Obviously not. And that is why increasingly within organizations, the whole concept of healthy lifestyles is coming through. There has to be a balance between work and family. There has to be a balance between work and leisure, because it is definitely proven that the whole working environment is a result of the knowledge that you acquire, the energy with which you work, but also the emotional status that you are in. So all this has to be taken into consideration. One cannot think of one's organization or work environment as a beehive, where the queen bee continues to be fed, and I understand the queen bee lives for about 5 years, whereas the worker bees, the maximum lifespan for the worker bees during summer is 2 to 5 weeks, and during winter maybe 20 weeks. But is that all we are asking from our colleagues in the organization? Obviously not. We want everyone to survive, not to burn out within 2 to 5 weeks like a worker bee.
Do you have any personal best practices, or through your years of experience, have you seen any best practice that you think really works in terms of health and well-being?
Try and set example. Try and lead by example. Also reach out to the individuals during working hours. There might be people who used to contribute immensely, but suddenly you start finding them becoming a little bit more slack, and then taking more leave, and rather than take action against them. I think it's important to reach out to them, understand, and try to find out what is happening. Is there a situation whereby there is a family issue, a crisis, or some personal issue that is making them not perform to the level they are or they were? And then try to address it, try to give them the room that they need, try to assist them, so that they, at the end of the day, they not only come recuperated, but also they come back as a stronger, confident teammate.
That's absolutely wonderful. So providing them coaching as well as support in the area of health and wellness is something that is of great importance.
Indeed.
Thank you so much. And probably my last question here, if you think forward over the next 1 year, what will be the 3 wishes that you would like to fulfill over the next 1 year?
Peter, I never thought that I was going to meet the genie tonight.
If you had 3 wishes, what would you like to fulfill over the next 1 year?
If I have got the magic lamp from you, I will rub it and wish for the 3 wishes. I wish that I would be able to continue to work for gender parity, to make sure that we move from the status of gender issues today to a better place. As we stand now, according to the latest UN Women report, it would take 300 years to reach gender parity if the status quo or business as usual is maintained.
Right.
So in whichever small way I can, I want to contribute to fast track the 300 years to a lesser date. Youth, I want to contribute or be able to contribute to generating more positivity within youth. The energy that the youth today has, I want to make sure that it is put into positive use so that they can contribute to the transition that they themselves are in, because end of the day, they are also going to be old people. And then finally, my wish would be for the environmental crisis around the world, which is threatening the existential viability of humanity as a race. I want to put in and contribute more sense into the debate so that we may all survive on this planet, what we call our home.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and experience here today. Connecting it all together, versatile leadership, coaching, mentoring, health and well-being, putting that together in the context of your three wishes: woman, children and environment. Wonderful.
Thank you.
Really appreciate your time and your sharing of your experiences and your wisdom today.
It is my pleasure. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Your wishes come true.